Hi, my name is Hadara Bar-Nadav. I am the author of 4 award-winning books of poetry, 2 chapbooks, and the best-selling textbook Writing Poems 8th edition. I am very excited to be here for the Bad Mouth reading series, and my thanks to Rebecca Aronson for inviting me. I'm going to start out with a few poems from my most recent book, The New Nudity. This is a book that explores the life of objects, body parts, and sometimes animals. I'm going to start with the opening poem, Thumb. Who means what it is to be human and is scarred by childhood. Thick and neckless, your head shaped like a gravestone. A smile opens across the knuckle and disappears every time you lift a tumbler of scotch. Who holds a pen and lies? Who holds a chopstick in the language of still twitching fish? When you think of the past, you form a fist until a heart beats. Once removed by a chisel, then reattached. You stiffen in the rain and dream of pudding, a smooth, boneless lake. Who butters morning toast while wearing a butter hat? Who fingers the ad for beef, grows numb while talking to a girl on the phone? Useless while typing, useless tool who only worships space. A stump, a blackened stamp, your own private map of loneliness, who always leans to one side, detached, distant from all others. There's a secret love poem embedded in that poem for my husband, who is a furniture maker, and severed his thumb with a chisel. But it was a really clean break, so it was just sewn back on after a few days. It's okay now. The next poem is Door. Hung by 2 pins and swelling, lacquered and puckering, effaced by thumbprints, sealed with grease and ink. Your quick hands cancel my gunmetal locks. No one notices my head. No one soothes my forehead with a cool cloth. You handle me, he handles me. My gold protuberance available by turns. I am legless and cannot move. I am tongueless, mute to your touch. I unleash my deranged triangle of shadows when pushed. If you look under my skirt, you'll see the darkness of another world. This next poem is called Dress Aurora Borealis. It's actually for a young woman named Ambreen Riasat, who was murdered in an honor killing. And it's also somewhat inspired by the white curtain Aurora Borealis, which looks like, to me, a white skirt or a white dress cutting across the sky. And it made me think of Ambreen's story, which I had read about on the news and was haunted by. Dress Aurora Borealis. See me for miles, light-streaked, death-streaked, a disturbance, I am disturbed, theatrical and skinless, electrical, all edge, a knife of ice carving the sky. White blades, white fathom, unbridled. White that is red, is pink, is hue, is glazed enormity, tangerine plush. And then comes the blood, scarlets on fire. Why is a girl always on fire? What makes her crackle? Breathtaking the cut waist, thighs rushed by smoke, royal of voile, combustible. So I loved, laid, slept for days, blinked, breathed flame, paraded like a god, gianter than God, invincible, made of nothing at all, fleshless, a fuse of refusals. And am I beautiful now? Who owns beauty? Waiting for your tongues to slip by. This next poem is Swan. This is one of the animals that snuck into my book of objects. Sail of surrender, cold geometry, slow ice treading on blue skin, slow dread, treading, treading. Beauty as a form of isolation, bled and tethered. An accidental hook rusted in. She dreams of green meat and eelgrass, a blizzard of fireflies, but survives on air and decay. Winded instrument that sings about drowning under a pale awning. Her cry stripped of its cord, a wounded call that will not carry. Sludge inside her shining, swirls of opalescent oil. Each circle rings, then shatters, then violetly disappears. A flock of zeros follows her everywhere, unslakable and damaged. Carved angel, chimerical, a cold melt, death dressed in snow. This next poem is Sun. Blistered apple, gold that molts the eye and boils animals in their caves. I touch and touch and touch, branding the hands of each child, a circle of unmoored fury. I see death all around you, your phantomed self charred blue cast against asphalt. The body's ash already visible, unglittering in its cheap velvet. Bow down in the brilliance of your borrowed light. Let me ignite your end. So I'm going to move on to a few newer poems that have a real pharmaceutical bent to them. I'm going to start off with I Took the Drugs. I took the drugs marked sleep for sleep, and the drugs marked joy to trudge through grief, and the yellow drugs to crack my Vaseline smile, ooze trickling the length of my spine, the hair on my arms electrically charged. The stop my mind from shaking drugs, from blood-dipped dreams, the stop crying drugs that left me hazed in a hangover for empty weeks, the taste of copper licking my lips. I took the drugs for side effects, the drugs for drugs, bottle shape they shoved me in, body of sludge. Call me the great undead with a pharmaceutical edge and a head full of mud. But I believe, if I believe hard enough, if I am a believer on my knees, praying for ease, oblivion, please. The pink circle by day, blue ovoid by night, white pearl for when my chest ruptures into flame. Lullabied by the dead and the history of the dead, my wounds flickering beneath my skin. So I'm going to read a few pharmaceutical erasure poems. I was a medical editor for several years, and I looked at pharmaceutical package inserts and made erasure poems from them. This is Your Mind is Night from the Tretinoid Gel Retin-A package insert. Your mind is night. Your mind is night. Your eyes open wounds. Your whole face may become skeletal. Fire is your nature. Flame is your friend. Deep inside your skin, New Zealand white rabbits report excessively troublesome feelings of warmth, inflammatory lesions, peeling of the total body surface, a red, blistered day. Question your toxic nature. Question the human risk. Death is excreted in human milk with alcohol, spices, and lime. You can't wash it away. Use extreme caution. You are flammable. This is from the ceftriaxone or Rocephin drug information from Medline Plus. It's called Infect This Page. Infect this page. Inject the blood of work. Kill your need to question this garbage art. A written list of all problems of the heart. Someone who is sick is at war, the victim of your normal American diet of disease and pain. Take an axe to your tongue. You should begin to feel better or get worse. Oh, cloudy day. Oh, bloody month. This is from the sertraline hydrochloride or Zoloft package insert. I should know emergency. I should know emergency. Call your new feelings. Follow up with your depression, dangerous impulses, or dying. Unusually grand ideas risk trouble. Excessive happiness should stop. Your disorder, and feelings of failure may not go away. For active sexual problems, shaking, and loss of consciousness, call pharmaceuticals. And I'll end with one more poem from the New Nudity, the last poem in the book called Zombie, because why not zombies? A zombie is a head with a hole in it, layers of plastic, putty, and crust. The mindless must be sated. Mottled men who will always return, mouthing wet promises. You rise already harmed and follow my sad circle as if dancing on shattered legs. Shoeless, toeless, such tender absences. You come to me ripped in linens and reds, eternal, autumnal, with rust and wonder. My servant sublimate, and I am yours, the hot death we would give each other. My dark ardor, my dark auger. Love to the very open-mouthed end. We are made of so much hunger. Thank you very much.